Good morning, everyone. 10K race day is here. I am in the truck getting ready to head out. Sun's not up yet, so it's dark in the truck. I'm gonna do a little bit of filming through the day. I'm still not gonna take the camera with me to run. I don't want to carry it. I just want to do my running. I'm not expecting to surprise myself as much with my time today as I did with my 5K, just because the distance of the race will not allow me to run as hard as I did for as long as I did on the 5K. I gotta trust my training. So I got a little bit of light here. Stopped at the gas station to fill up my vehicle and get a couple things for the day. So what I'm hoping to achieve for this race is the same as my goals were for the 5K. I want to run a steady pace and keep that going through the whole thing. That's really all my goals are. That's all I feel like I have to achieve. What I want to achieve is get below 50 minutes. So that's my 5K doubled with about 10 extra minutes to get it done. So surely I can handle that. Again, I just feel like I'm less prepared than I need to be, and I want to be. I've followed my training program, done my runs, done the speed days, one speed day. As I said in my previous video, sometimes if you don't recover, you can't do the next workout, or you can't do what you planned on. You have to auto-regulate your intensity based off how you recover, because if you just keep grinding yourself down, you're never going to get back to that fully recovered, fully prepared version of yourself. So yeah, let's finish driving to the location of the 10K and then let's run. Back in the truck, just finished the race, got a 45:11, I think. Beat 50. Maybe should have beat 45, but when I think back of could I shaved 11 seconds off of my race, no, only by being in better shape. I couldn't have raced any harder. The last big hill we had nearly made me just say, all right, I've done all I can do. Pushed through that and got done. 7th overall. Loved it. That was definitely a longer race, but it flies by. It flies by. You're thinking about your pacing, thinking about how your race is going. Exciting stuff. Okay, so I just wanted to take a second and wrap up Project 10K. A little bit of a finish up the review of the race. I know I've had the first part of the video, which is somewhat of a day of. It was very minimal. There was only so much that I was ever gonna film for that, because I wasn't gonna take the camera on the run with me. And then when the run was over, instead of filming, I spent time with my family. So no apologies there. But to wrap it all up, to get Project 10K done and get moved on to Project Half Marathon, I wanted to just go over a few things of what the race day was like. I'm here in the recording studio that my family owns and operates. It's called Purple Ridge. So the official time for the 10K, and I know I'd said that I wanted to get below 50, which I thought was going to be a monumental challenge. I really did not feel prepared. I really thought that it was going to be very difficult to achieve that. But the official time I got was 45 minutes and 8 seconds. Blown away. I'm blown away. You finish 8 seconds over a milestone marker like 45 minutes, and you think, man, I really should have just shaved 8 seconds off of my race. But I'm telling you right now, there's no way I would have done that. Because I thought I found my breaking point on the 5K, but I really I'll get to this in a second, but I really, really, really came close to the breaking point on this one. I knew that when I signed up, I saw that there was some elevation gain on this course. They said 548 feet, I believe. What I didn't know is that it felt like that would happen about 10 times on the course. It was a very hilly course, way more than I was expecting. You know, you hit your first big hill, your heart rate goes up a little quicker than it would if you were racing on a flat course. But I just kept passing people on hills, and I felt like I was going too fast because I kept passing them. But I also felt like this is what's slowing everybody else down. This is what's going to ruin their time. Maybe I can just handle the hills. And my steps were slower than theirs, but I was just taking these bigger steps. I got in a rhythm, and I really felt like I was handling the hills. I was just taking them down. I was passing every pass I made. Yeah, every pass that I can remember was on a hill. That's where I made my ground. Maybe that's something I'm just good at. I don't know. And maybe I paid the price for it too. I didn't really get caught in a pack like I did with the 5K. I was straight out of the gate, just started passing people. I didn't go to the front because I didn't think I was there to win it. Again, just like the 5K. It was a very nice, cool, foggy morning. So the weather wasn't in the way. I wore my Brooks to race in. I wasn't sure what I was going to go with, but I decided to wear those. During the race, they had water stations, but I felt like I had taken care of that during the week. I didn't need to rehydrate during the race. Let's fast forward to about a mile left. There was one woman who was ahead of me, and I had seen her on some she would go around a bend, and I'd get there, and then she wouldn't be there because she's already passed the next one. I was like, I'll never catch her. So finally, there were 3 big hills to end on, and the first hill, she had just got to the top when I got to the bottom. The second hill, she was about halfway up when I got to the bottom, and I realized like I'm closing in on her. I caught her on that hill. So we got to the bottom of that hill, and I kind of got some distance from her. We were both obviously feeling the same amount of fatigue because at that point of the race, you should be tired. And I got that distance apart. I got away from her, and about halfway up the hill, I was 100% positive I have found my breaking point. I'm going to have to stop and walk. I'm going to have to give up. I'm not going to finish this race just running. I'm going to have to give up on the only goal I had, which was to run the whole thing. And I was like, whatever, Joe, don't do that. Do not give up. Just keep running. I don't care how slow you're going to run it. Just run. So I kept doing that and kept doing that and kept doing that and kept doing that. Got to the top of the hill. On my way down the hill, I really focused on getting my breathing back in a rhythm I could handle. And then from there, I recovered. I could hear the music starting to come through the trees back to where the starting and finish line was. And that was what motivated me to get going. I crossed the finish line. There was nobody else with me. I ran past my daughter, and she was like, Dad! She came running. I was like, Avery, come on. So I ran through the finish line, slowed down, turned around. There she was running behind me. So at the 5K, she really wanted to run across the finish line, and we didn't let her because there was a lot of people coming in, person after person after person. And this time she got to run through, so she was super happy. I finished 7th overall. I don't know if I would say technically. I won my age group, but technically the winner overall was in my age group. So the first 3 finishers overall get removed from their age group. So I was technically second in my age group, but based off the race rules, I won my age group. I was 7th overall, that's for sure. And I'm super happy. And like the time's great. Racing is fun. I'm like getting really addicted to race days. It feels so good. You feel so accomplished when you push yourself, when you give everything you've got, when you absolutely drain your tank. You've gotten through this, you got over it, you fought through it, you battled through it. It's so rewarding. And you don't have to be good at it. You don't have to win. You don't have to beat anybody. Just the fact of knowing, like, I pushed myself as hard as I could, and I finished. I did it. Now, I'm sure there are runners that are way more qualified than me, way better than me, that would not feel that way if they didn't win the race or get the time they were really shooting for. But for us beginners, it's a great feeling. It's so nice to just push yourself and be done. The rest of the day, you feel like, oh man, I've already accomplished so much. But for me, The biggest thing was I really, really thought I found my breaking point. I really thought I was going to have to give up. But I was able to push through when I really thought I had nothing left to give. And what a lesson. Like, there's always more. You can always keep going. Sitting here talking about it, I've thought about how I want to say it and how I want to convey that message, but I can't put it into words what it felt like to just know 100%. I was convinced totally that I needed to stop and walk, and just somehow I didn't. I was able to push through. I was able to battle through. Me and that woman were like in the same area for a long time. She was not able to push through that last little bit like I was. I don't know where I found it. I don't know where I got it from. Maybe it's a competitive edge thing. I've known my entire life that I'm super competitive. It was an awesome race, and I'm so excited to keep moving on and do more races. I've got the fever. I want to keep racing. Up next is a half marathon. That's a little bit bigger of a jump. Going from 3.1 to 6.2 was manageable. I was already running those distances, but I've not done 13 in a long time. I've not done a double-digit run in a long time. I'm nervous about the distance. Like, now I'm starting to feel like it's a race to just finish. Like, my initial goal is for all of these 8 races the first time through. But we're going to hit it head on. We're going to give it everything we've got and treat it like it deserves to be treated. So, this is the end of Project 10K. I know it was just a 2-episode season. We only had 2 weeks to train. So, thanks for watching. We got a whole new season coming out that should be more videos because we got a lot longer time to train. Pretty positive that the half marathon is going to be on September 30th, I believe. Project Half Marathon coming up next. Let's see what we can do.